you'll go back and just look along with me if you've already done the step, please. So on page, actually, we forgot a step on page 12 because these buttons here, Cameron, what are these numbers representing? Are they just numbers? Are they the date? What kind of formatting does this column need right here? It needs the dollar sign, so it's pretty quick and easy to label this as currency. Okay, and so then this next step, I want to show you something for reals.
For real?
Yes. All right, this is a Venmo statement from the school store. Hey, I need y'all to focus. Remember, I'm doing a recording. This is a Venmo statement from the school store. So I actually go through and use these in my bank deposits. So sometimes it gets so long that you forget what you're looking at. So there's this cool feature called freezing the rows that we want to do. And in order to do that, you have to click the view menu and go to freeze. And we want to freeze the top 2 rows. So if you'll look at my board, there's a line that comes up, and now watch what happens. As I scroll down, the titles at the top remain. So I went to view, freeze, and I told it to freeze 2 rows. So now as we scroll down, we'll remember what the categories at the top were, and we'll always be able to see the total money we spent and how much is left in our budget. Okay? So under the stop column, it wants us to select cell A3. What page am I on, guys? 14. It wants us to select cell A3, and then it tells us to type the name and one of the stops that we want to go in. So I'm going to type in Bora Bora. And where is Bora Bora?
It's in Ireland.
In Ireland?
No, it's
I've heard a lot of y'all talking about Bora Bora, so where is Bora Bora?
It is in French Polynesia.
I know, look at my board.
Hey, well, I said I'd Google it for you and you just didn't tell me not to.
Hey, but you're looking it up. So Bora Bora's French, you're right, it is an island in French Polynesia. Okay, so then I have to figure out the cost of flights, hotels, events, etc. to get here. So I'm actually going to do a second stop. I want y'all to look up how much it costs to get to Bora Bora right now. And I'm going to look up a second stop to where I need to go this weekend to surprise a family member for their 50th birthday party.
They're going to the skate room. Oh, it's only $394. And you said Bora Bora was the most amazing place.
It is amazing. You need to look up how much it costs to fly there right now.
Oh, Bora Bora or that? Oh my God. Hey.
So I'm looking up a potential flight information. I only want to stay for 2 days, but you guys might want to stay for a longer period of time. So the first flight that we have to do is an outbound flight. Now, if you're going from place to place to place, please realize that you don't have to do a return trip. You fly probably from Atlanta, because do you know that Atlanta is the biggest airport in the world? You might not know that yet. You're going to learn it when we talk about our transportation and our transportation unit. But you're going to fly from Bora Bora to, where's your next stop? We'll say Berlin. Do you know what country Berlin is in?
Germany.
That's right. Now, here's the problem with doing it this way. Bora Bora, we have how many columns for expenses? Is it going to cost more than one thing to get to Bora Bora?
Probably.
Absolutely. So we can't put the second place in yet. Okay? Okay? So we're going to say on the second place. Everybody say That's right. And we're going to create some categories of expenses. And it tells us to go from C3 to, I'm going to go to C, it says 100. So we spending all kinds of money. To C3 to C100. So that we can have all kinds of information here under our category column. So I'm now on page 18, and it tells me to go to the data menu, and data is, information that you're going to put on the sheet, and choose data validation. Okay, so it's going to double check. You want C3 through C100. That's perfect. And we're going to go from a range to a list of items. Okay, so tell me some common expenses that would take place if you're traveling to these places.
Wait, how did you get to the alcohol consumption? Yeah.
So we're going to put travel, lodging, food, entertainment, Cameron, boom, that covers all kinds of fun stuff, and then other. Okay? So now, think about this. Why are we setting up these categories? Because we're going to be able to label what the cost is for the trip. You did, I know. So think about this in terms of the school store. If we set up an inventory management sheet, we can label on the categories from the product mix. Clothing, accessories, household, all that stuff we worked on so hard last year. And we can actually make an Excel spreadsheet that when we sell an item, it reduces the inventory we have right there in Excel. Yes. And then we can have a column that says, potentially how much that item is worth. So we can have an Excel spreadsheet of how much all of our items in the school store are worth. So a monetary value for every single thing in that room, which is what we're going to do next. And that's why I wanted to show y'all how to do this, okay? So to wrap this up really quickly, after we put these categories in, we're going to click Save. And now Excel updates with a little drop-down arrow where we can click a category. Voila. Or voila, as the French say.
Wait, so how do you do that again? You press what?
So under the expense column, step 14 says to choose the correct category for our first expense, and this is going to be a flight. We're going to go from ATL to, you have to figure out what the airport code is where you're flying into Bora Bora. All airports have 3-letter codes. I didn't just put ATL for the heck of it. Jacksonville is JAX. Brunswick is BQK. Every single airport all over the world has a 3-letter code like that. So if the expenses are flight, ATL to where you have to look it up, what is the category? Travel. We are only going to need one flight. I don't know how much it's going to cost yet, but I'm going to, did somebody look it up already, Atlanta to Bora Bora?
It says there's no flight. You have to go further ahead, like in October. If I would guess, I would say probably like 1,757.
So I'm just going to put Carter's number in just for the heck of it. Okay, and then we multiply the units times the cost. So we're going to say equals this cell, I clicked using my mouse, times this cell, and then what is the magic button I have to do to enter in that equation?
Enter.
I have to choose enter. And if you notice, it multiplied it. This is correct. It totaled the money I'm spending, and it subtracted it from my budget. Boom, shakalaka.
How do you put the categories in?
So I'm going to stop right there with the video, and then we'll come back on the next step after I help everybody in the class get caught up to page 23 of the project.